So, what is the story? The Honorable Minister for Communication and Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram, the Honorable Sam Nate George, KPMG, the Real McCoy, Telecel Ghana Limited, a telecom company doing very well and owed 70% owned by the Republic of Ghana, and Airtel Tigo-Telecel. They say life is simple, and it's a company that's owned 100% by 80%. Yes, 30% of Telecel. Sorry, Ghana owns 30% of Telecel, not Telecel, not the other way around. Ghana owns 30, and the investors have 70%. Now, the story began with Sam Nate George when he became minister. Both Telecel and AT believe that at the initial briefing stages, the Honorable Communication Minister did not get everything quite on point because he got some information, pieces of information inaccurate. Both of them say that they corrected a piece of information. But now here's a critical matter. AT are concerned that there seems to be a deliberate move by government to shift them into Telecel. Now, some say that's true, some say that's not true. But this is the critical point. The reason why that is being said is that there is an American company that runs the towers. I want to make it as simple as possible. That's why I'm searching for words. There's an American company that runs the towers. They are called ATC. So if you're a telco, your call to get to me goes through a tower and comes to me. For my call to get to you is the same thing. That tower is some tree. You can call it a tree. It's more sophisticated than a simple tree, but yes, you can call it a tree. It passes through that and comes to you. So that the person who owns that platform charges you for passing through him to come to me. And he charges you for passing through him to come to me. And they charge and they pay. Now, because AT have had financial difficulties, and you know that's part of the reason why they were merged by the Eslauso administration of Nana Akufo-Addo, they have been owing this company that is the platform. So the platform says that I can no longer host AT on their cell. So the platform has everybody's cell, many people on it. So it's like this, and there's Telecel here, MTN here, everybody's on it. So it says that you, AT, you owe me, so I can no longer host you. Now, they've been owing them for a while, for about 5 years, but AT have been negotiating. The first problem of the minister was that he went in to do the negotiation. He may well be entitled to that because this is a company that government of Ghana owns 100%. So the minister may well be entitled to that. But perhaps he should have dealt a bit more with the leadership of AT before he went to talk to ATC. Never mind. He went to speak to AT. I said, ATC, don't worry. The bill that these guys owe you, I'm going to pay. In a short time, I'll just deal with it. So they said, okay, we wait for that short time. He gave them a deadline. He failed to pay. So the guy said, look, your minister said he was going to pay. He didn't pay. I'm going to take you off. So they take them off. So if you are an AT customer, if they take you off and you take your phone and you're calling me, it will do bang, bang, nothing will happen. Kring, kring, nothing will happen. You press the thing, bang, nothing will happen. Then you start complaining. Da, 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 da. So to avoid that, the beautiful twin brother, Telecel, was instructed, and they accepted the instruction that, okay, let us carry all the people here onto Telecel so that they can talk to each other, so they can go on their life without even knowing that something has happened. This was something Telecel did, for which we must be grateful to them. They agreed after the minister prompted that can you carry, and the reason why the minister was able to do that is because both have Ghanaian interest. 100% here, 30% here. So both have Ghanaian interest. So the minister said, look, my company, of which I have 100%, they are collapsing after, because I went to try and negotiate and I couldn't do it. So they are collapsing. So yeah, can you? And Telecel said, oh, why not? Oh, we'll do it. No problem, no problem. So they moved some of the customers, majority of them, onto this one, and then other customers will move on to another one. So if you are an AT customer and you were traveling from Medina to Accra Central, Gamashi, on the day when they took them off, you wouldn't even notice anything. If you're an 026 customer and you called me and say, hey, Paulus, how be? Did Manchester United win the game? Da, 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 and then you are going, then we are talking, and I call you back. I say, oh, I was in a meeting, I'll call you back. Now you've reached the 7, you're in the Trotro. The 37 guy is saying, Trotro mate is saying, we are in 37, we are in 37. You leave Medina, you first stop at the Atomic Junction, then you come to Legon, and then from Legon you come to the Tetekwashi place, the junction there, and then from there you come in, you are now at Golden Tulip 37, and you are coming. You won't know that anything had happened. And that is because Telecel said, we'll welcome them. So that happened. Now, why? These people have been migrated onto Telecel. It would appear to the investors at AT that this process is now being exploited by the minister to create a situation where all their work, assets, staff, everything will be shifted into Telecel. That's the suspicion from the minister. And why is there a suspicion? Because there's a lack of transparency in the process. Let me continue. The reason why ATI in this situation is that some company is a private company. I don't want to mention their name, but their name starts with R. Some company says that, I am interested in this company. I will give them 150 million United States dollars so that they can go on. The minister is excited about that. Says that, oh, they said they will give $150 million so that we go on. No problem. So let's look at it. The minister asked KPMG to consider that company that wants to give AT 150 million so that AT can stand on its feet again. And then perhaps Ghana government can have a very strong company in which there's 100% and also a 30% here that is quite strong. Okay? Now, somewhere along the line, that's the interesting thing. Somewhere along the line, the minister engages with other players in the industry. We'll continue the story on Thursday, so we're not saying everything. The minister engages, we know who the other players are. We'll mention them on Thursday, not yet. The minister engages with other players in the industry. They are all serious corporate people, so you cannot just be mentioning their names like that. The minister engages with other players in the industry, and something dramatically changes. It would appear that after that engagement, the minister is no longer interested in the $150 million that is coming to them, whilst KPMG is being asked to look at it. From the time KPMG was asked to look at it, the date is there. I'll give you the date. Up to today, the minister has not disclosed what KPMG came up with. KPMG is a very recognized, respectable international auditing firm. The minister has not come back with what is KPMG saying about that deal that was coming to AT. He hasn't said anything. All he seems to be saying is that AT moved to Telecel. Telecel are doing their business. They are a very responsible company. Telecel have been investing in Ghana and in the company so far they promised to invest 500 million over 4 years. They have invested about 250 million. They are continuing progressing with the investment. They are doing very well as a company. They've grown their customer base. They are now looking at beyond 6 million customers. This one has nearly 4 million customers. So they are doing well and they are happy to take on this. But the problem is that if this one is not allowed to survive and it goes away, there are about 300 customers that apparently the minister has suggested that Telecel can take, but there are 200 more indirect customers that Telecel cannot take. And here's the catch. There are about 5,000 to 6,000 businesses that will be lost and employment will be lost if this process goes on without having a good look at AT. Why will a policy decision from a minister of communication occasion government losses? That's the critical issue. Nothing to do with Telecel. Telecel are a responsible company. They are doing their CSR. They are a very responsible company. They are doing their work. Okay. And if Telecel were not there, those customers who are on 026, on that day that the thing happened, they would have been in trouble. So Telecel is doing good. But the issue is this. Why will a minister make a policy decision without telling Parliament? Up till now, the matter hasn't gone to Parliament. The minority held a press conference about it. Why will a minister make a decision without telling Parliament? A decision that potentially could occasion job losses to Ghanaians in the reset agenda. I don't think that finds space in the reset agenda. I don't think there's any space in the reset agenda for any policy decision that will occasion job losses to Ghanaians. That's why I'm interested. That's why you should be interested. That's why Parliament is interested. Parliament has opened today, and it is expected of the minister that he will tell Parliament what did KPMG say about the 150 million. Because KPMG has been looking at that. He directed KPMG to look at that. Government of Ghana may be paying KPMG for that sophisticated work that they have to do to assess whether the person giving the 150 million and where the 150 million is going to go will benefit AT just the way as the people are suggested. That's why the KPMGs are there. So that when somebody comes to say that, oh, I have 150 million, KPMG can say, oh, he doesn't have anyone, he's lying, he doesn't have any 150 million. These people are, they talk, they don't have any money. KPMG can do that. Oh, yeah, he has 150 million, but the work that is to be done here is not 150 million matter. He needs more than that. All of that KPMG can say. What is happening to the KPMG report? Why are politicians shelving the KPMG report and developing a policy that may ultimately occasion job losses to the Ghanaian people? I'll leave it here. More to come on Thursday. So much more to come on Thursday. But thanks to Telecel, those of you who are on 80, today you can still talk. There's no problem. ATC have taken Telecel off, but you can still talk. I've taken 80 customers off, but you can still talk. If 80 were to get the 150 million, that is ready, but minister, and rightly so, minister wants KPMG, so look at it, we'll get somewhere. We have more information, and it's coming up on Thursday because we are running out of time. We have to get onto the politics. This is business, and we have to get onto the politics. The reason why we are interested is that we have looked at the story, and it may occasion job losses to the people here. That's the significant thing. So we'll leave it here for now. Thursday, we'll come back with the big bullets and drop it very, very heavy. That's our 80 story.